Welcome to the Mussar Video Blog. So Canadians are happy because the men's hockey team, the women's hockey team, both won the gold. A friend of mine was telling me that he was at a educational conference last week and the speaker brought up an interesting point. And he said, you know, Canada in the 10 years ago was like number 3 in the world educationally, and I think in reading comprehension, and number 6 in mathematical ability, and they dropped to like something like 10 and 17. And he raised the point, he says, what would it have been if in the hockey game the Canadians, let's say the women's Canadian team, would have lost the gold medal game to the United States, or the Canadians men team would have lost the gold medal game to Sweden? He said the country would have been in national depression. How many people are depressed that the ability of our students today is dropping so drastically? We've lost so many places. We can't read as well as we used to. Where our mathematical ability to do computations and think in those terms is not as good as it used to be. He said, isn't that a much greater tragedy than the team losing the gold? We're all for them winning the gold, but in terms of real values, isn't it much greater? It's an interesting point, and I'd like to take that point and move it over into the Mussar realm. When you think about it, isn't it a lot worse in life when we act in bad ways, when we let our bad midos get the best of us, when we lose our temper, when we get impatient, when we act lazy, when we act selfish, and so on and so forth, all the myriads of ways that we can be so negative. So it's worth considering that what would make me more upset if I got upset, lost my temper, did something against my good midos, or if the Canadian team would lose the gold, or whatever it is. If you're not a hockey fan, something else. In the scale of what's really important in life, I think we have to recognize that working on our midos, becoming better people, striving, going for the gold in what's really important is what's really the essence of our life. We have to put our focus on that. We have to go for the gold in the area where it's really important to win that medal. So that's our Mussar lesson for today, is recognize what's really important. Put our energy into it, put our passions into it, and really change who we are and go for the gold. See you next week.